What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to be discussing a fun topic in regards to Mexico and the USA national team. They got a big matchup coming up.
Big game, bro.
The 12th of November, next Friday. And we're trying to decipher what's the best 11 we can put together utilizing both of these squads. Now, the rules that we came up with are pretty simple. We're going to utilize a 4-3-3 formation because that's what they usually both utilize. But before said, we also talked about a little factor involved.
Yeah, for me, when it comes to picking a best 11, and we've seen Jamie Carragher, Roy Keane do this on Sky Sports, and it's a really great format, so we're going to try and mimic that. Basically, it doesn't matter whether we're picking we have to have a defensive midfielder, two center mids, straight out-and-out wingers. We're just going to go with the best players right now playing in that position between the Mexico and the U.S. national teams.
Yeah, we're just trying to pick the best squad that we can just put out there to represent CONCACAF. Who can serve us the best? And we got a pretty big USA fan with us and a pretty big Mexico fan, so I think we both represent our squads pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
With that being said, those are the rules. That's what we're going to do, so we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, and I was thinking, though, doing this 11's a little blasphemous, man. I feel like a lot of the Liga MEX fans, those MLS fans, true CONCACAF fans, this doesn't happen a lot, man.
It's not like doing an England-Germany combined 11.
There's a little bit of friendliness over there, but this is pure animosity. This is pure rivalry, and we're combining them together right here in this video.
And we're going to start at goalkeeping. The first position we're going to start with is goalkeepers. And
let me see what
I'll get us started here because we've got some options. It's funny because I think about what would happen if we had done this from 2010 to 2018. For a good 8-year stretch.
I know exactly.
There would have been a straight, direct answer for this question.
Absolutely.
No question. It would have been San Ochoa, no doubt, in my mind at least.
Oh, no, absolutely. Memo Ochoa, man.
But the fact we're doing this now brings up a good debate about who starts, and I don't think it involves a Mexican.
The thing is, I completely agree. I actually thought this decision, picking a goalkeeper, was tough. But not looking at it from a U.S.-Mexico perspective. Yeah. It's between two keepers right now, and that's Zach Steffen and Matty Turner.
Yeah.
So
my arguments came in when the reason I struggle is because Matt Turner has been so goddamn crucial for the U.S. and international play. Weirdly, it's a weird. Ochoa-esque impact he's had on the national team.
5 clean sheets out of those 6 Gold Cup games. Insane.
Yeah, he had an
immediate impact once he started for the U.S.
Yeah. And Zach Steffen, you look at him, and the man's all talent. There's a reason he is at Man City, and that he represents that squad as a backup goalkeeper.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He is the backup goalkeeper for Manchester City. He's right behind Ederson. If Ederson's injured, Zach Steffen comes up and starts for Man City.
Zach Steffen, one of the
best clubs right now in the fucking world right now. Zach Steffen starts.
Yeah. So when it came from me, I'm going Steffen.
Yeah.
I'm going Steffen.
I'm going Steffen too, solely because I think overall he has the higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Right now, positionally, he's very good. Obviously, playing under Pep, he's really good on the ball now. Obviously, you don't see it as much because he doesn't start consistently. That might be his only knock. He doesn't get consistent game time. But, he's still training day in, day out with Man City. That means a lot.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, yes, Matt Turner is in insane form right now. But I still think Steffen's just a little bit better of a goalkeeper.
Yeah. That's literally my same argument. I know that if I'm going to pick a team for the next game, I'm not completely sure Turner's going to be that guy. I know he has been, but I feel more secure in picking Zach Steffen long term for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Because I just know that he has that talent to back it up. So we're going Steffen with our goalkeeper. And are you cool with us going with the defensive line first?
Yeah, let's go back to front. Let's start with one of the fullbacks, right fullback?
We'll do right.
Let's go right fullback.
Talk to me.
I'm just going to say one word right now, and let's just see what you say. Serginho Dest.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah. For me, I think it's pretty clear. Now here's the thing. Mexico's right back position for so long has been just pretty iffy. I'm talking about relying on the Severo Mesas of the world, Paul Aguilar, even Miguel Ayun when he played in that position was good, but was he a true defender? Layun was really good on the ball.
Yeah, he
I mean,
was.
he served in cross after cross.
Yeah.
When he was playing with Porto, he would average like 10,
Hey,
12 assists a season,
he's
man.
one of the first modern fullbacks, man.
You can think about it that way.
He walks so Trent Alexander-Arnold can run, bro.
No, for real.
Miguel Layun.
Miguel Layun, technically great.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, you want a fullback who's a little bit more athletic, maybe, who can run up and down that pitch, still serving balls, still attack, but still have that ability and that guile to defend. Now, I'm not saying Dest is one of the best defenders. That might be one of his biggest cons. Is you see him out of position, actually quite a lot. But I think that's also testament to how good Dest is going forward. And I don't think you can leave that offensive prowess out of that 11. You can't.
No, yeah.
I mean, you saw that banger of a goal that he scored against Costa Rica to open things up. You need that. And I don't think the right backs right now that Mexico has can really do that. I'm specifically Chaca Rodriguez. I don't think that he can do that right now. And the America fullback, Jorge Sanchez, they're solid, man. I think they're really solid. Again, better than Mesa in 2010, better than Paul Aguilar, Layun in 2014. I honestly think that Chaca Rodriguez and George Sanchez are actually better than Mexico has had in that position. But I think Dest is just better.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's an imperfect position when we look at this squad that we're trying to create because there is no perfect choice for this. The player we pick is gonna have a flaw.
He is.
It's about like managing your expectations with that. And I think I prefer to go with Dest because of the fact that he's signed by Barca, he's played with Ajax, he's played Champions League football. Jorge Sanchez is the only one that I actually considered.
Yeah.
He banged in a goal just a few weeks ago at the World Cup qualifying.
Yeah.
So you showed that he could score, but then again, he's more of a defender and he'll occasionally attack. He's not so much of a reliable attacking force as Dest.
Completely agree.
So I feel more comfortable going with Dest on this one because I mean I'm not gonna pick an America guy over a Barcelona man. Dude. There has to be a lot there for me to go with that. So we're going Dest.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And just to finish that, I put myself in the mind of Tata Martino, and I feel like if he had Dest at his disposal, he would pick Dest. He would have to.
No,
you just said it. Would you pick a Barca guy, even though Barca's not doing that hot right now? Or would you pick an America guy? They both start for their respective clubs. You're picking Dest.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So now we're going to keep talking about fullbacks. So let's talk about that left fullback position.
Left fullback.
This is a bit more competitive for me. I'll go first on
this one was tough.
Yeah,
I did not know who to fucking pick.
I based my decision on the fact that I'm going to go with the person that's more consistent at this spot. Because I think the talent level is about the same for a lot of these players that I considered.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Jesus Gallardo, who's competed in a World Cup, who's been part of Mexico's team for a good while, and is just now coming into his prime, and has a good 1-2 World Cups left in him.
Yeah.
I'm going with him. He might not do the spectacular, he might not do the amazing, but he's shown time and time again that he can be really consistent for the Mexican national team. Meanwhile, the other person I give a shout to is Anthony Robinson for what he's done at Fulham and for the U.S., but I've noticed that Berhalter likes to rotate that position
out.
Although that might be successful for the team, it just shows me that he doesn't have that trust that he needs at that position.
I do agree with that sentiment, but I have Anthony Robinson starting my left back position. And it's solely because when you think about how good Anthony Robinson is, it just comes down to how good he is defensively and athletically. I think Gallardo's great. Mm-hmm. He averages 5 goals, 5 assists for Monterrey over the past 3 years. He's been effective as hell for Monterrey. But when I see Gallardo playing against the Portugals, the Brazils, the Frances of the world, I don't know if I can really trust him to be that defensive guy. Okay. I don't know if I can trust him. He's great, and he's really solid in that left back position. And look, Robinson isn't that much better. I'm not saying it's a night and day choice here, but I think Robinson is just slightly better, man, solely because of his defensive aspects. And I know what you might be thinking, well, why did I choose Dest for offense? I think Dest's lack in defense his offense still makes up for it.
Okay.
I don't think Gallardo's offense makes up for his lack in defense. I don't think it does.
But
so that's why I'm going Robinson, man.
I'm thinking, but if we're trying to build a team, I need one consistent player at fullback. I need a guy that
you can rely on.
that I can rely on.
And that's where I go to in my center backs. I go reliability in my center backs, but right now I'm going Robinson.
I don't think
solely because dude, he plays in the best league in the world, the English Championship, bro. It's a hell of a league, man.
I've seen Gallardo put up a clean sheet against Germany in the World Cup qualifier and a World Cup game. I haven't seen anything
Fuck
close
that
to
Germany
that.
team, bro. Fuck that
I saw him
team.
do the same thing against South Korea as well. I've seen it in the World Cup. I've seen it.
No,
I'm not going with a kid,
so
a 24-year-old who's in the second division of the English league and gets rotated out. There's no proof there for me to go off of, except of what he might become and what he might be. So that's why I'm going with Gallardo. But the thing is, one of us has to give.
We have to
This
give
is a
here.
game of negotiations because
Yeah.
I might be willing to give you this one, but then I might earn a
then
little bit
maybe
more.
that changes a little
and somewhere
aspect.
else. So who gives? What do we do here? I'm pretty big on Gallardo over Anthony because I think it's one of the bigger. I see this as one of the bigger differences in terms of Mexico, United States.
No, absolutely.
talent
And you know, like you said, Gallardo has the World Cup pedigree, and I mean, just if we're just keeping with the stats here, I'm almost positive he's played every single minute of all 6 World Cup qualifying games.
Yeah.
Gallardo is the mainstay at left back for Tata Martino, so let's go Gallardo.
All right,
let's go.
See that Gallardo at left, Dest at right. Let's keep the ball rolling. We're talking center backs now. A very interesting position for both of these teams. Get us started.
For me, I think the center back positions was one of the easiest choices I had to make here. And there's 2 center back positions, but I'm just gonna say both of them for me are Mexican.
Oh,
So let's start on the
okay.
right. Let's start on the right side. A guy who's been playing for a long time, even though he's only 24 years old, Cesar Montes. Get this. This is what's crazy. Let's compare the two.
Yeah, we're having a moment here, man.
Cesar Montes versus right now Miles Robinson, who very much like Matt Turner has just blown up on the scene of the U.S. men's national team with a Gold Cup. Right? Miles Robinson has been pretty much that mainstay at right center back for Greg Berhalter, and it's the same thing for Cesar Montes. They're both 24 years old. Montes has been playing consistent football since 2015, bro. That's insane. That's
I can't
insane.
believe his age, man. It doesn't register in my head.
It's crazy. He's literally 4 years advanced of what he actually is. Miles Robinson is the same age. Did not start playing consistently for Atlanta United until 2019. They're the same age, except Montes has 4 years on him. It's like he graduated high school 4 years early, man.
man.
Montes has been out there, bro, just flinging balls,
Montes is a
defending.
gummy, bro. He's a freshman, man. He's outclassing the senior.
He's outclassing. And another thing I like about Montes, just other than that, obviously, he's so calm back there.
Yeah.
He's so calm. He gives me that reliability that I'm searching for. And honestly, I think he's one of the best, truly, one of the best center backs that Mexico has had in the past decade.
I smiled when you said it because I was going to come in with a hot take that he's Mexico's best center back.
Dude, I think
clearly.
so. I think it's
But
clear,
I'm
man.
glad to hear that you actually think the same too. And something, just a funny little thing that made me realize that is that you often think about the games being broadcast and what you see when they're played live.
Yeah.
You get these really good shots of zoomed in shots of players and their reactions to what are happening in the game. I have trouble remembering a zoomed in shot of Cesar Montes panicking.
Panicking, bro.
He's one of the calmest players,
Dude.
visually and physically that I've seen. He has almost a Van Dyke type calmness to him. He might not perform to that level, but he's just so serious, so organized, so disciplined, and just like a guy you can trust. Mexico needs that, man, because you look at Moreno, you look at Araujo, man.
Yeah,
one of the most expressive ones I've seen, man. Araujo looks like he's in dire need of help constantly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That told me that Montes is just one of the go-to guy for this position.
It's crazy because jokingly last night when I was thinking about this 11, I told myself, I was like, dude, Montes is the Mexican Van Dyke. And, let's not get carried away here. I mean, Van Dyke is pure class.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what
he is to the team, man.
Yeah,
I agree. So we're going Montes here.
It was an easy decision, and
Montes.
it's not to downplay how good Robinson has been, but Montes, man,
It just
my
hasn't been
God.
enough. It hasn't been enough.
Yeah. So who do you have as his partner, man? Who do you got?
I just couldn't convince myself on Moreno, man.
Okay.
Because that to me was the only other option outside of John Brooks.
John
The
Brooks.
only other option, yeah.
Okay.
I felt that was the only other guy I could go with, unless we do some positional switching here. But to me, it's John Brooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to counter that, here's my only thing. I would have said John Brooks if this World Cup qualifying campaign had not started.
Okay.
Brooks has been making weird decisions at the back, bro. Really weird decisions. And I mean costly too. Like straight up, he's made 2, maybe even 3 mistakes that have straight up led 2 goals in this qualifying campaign. And I know it's recent, and like I said, we're going based off of pure form right now. So I've chosen to not include Brooks in my 11 here.
Okay.
He's out. Now this is where it gets tough. It's tough to find a replacement for him.
Yeah.
Right now, Greg Berhalter honestly doesn't know what to do either. In the last 2, maybe even 3 games, he's had to drop Brooks, whether I think he had minor injuries, but also just due to the form. He's played Walker Zimmerman there, and the Bayern Munich, 18-year-old or however the hell old he is, Chris Richards. And that's the thing. Zimmerman, I loved him when he was at FC Dallas, big Dallas fan. But, he's an MLS defender. They're not going to purely knock the MLS, but, you'd hope you'd have a better defender like John Brooks, who plays in the Bundesliga. And I think that's why he's gone with Chris Richards, because he plays with Bayern Munich. Now, he doesn't play, but he's with the squad just like Stefan is with Man City. So Richards is a good, I think, backup for Brooks. But then I started thinking about this, man. And it gets interesting if you want to get really picky about it. But if you see how good Araujo has been, bro, for Celta, he plays in one of the best leagues in the world.
He does.
And when you look at his stats, man, he plays in every game. The coach loves him. If there's one thing that's sure about Celta's 11, it's that Nestor Araujo is going to be starting at the back for Celta. Now, Celta's obviously just a mid-table team in Spain, but to be consistently playing in one of the better leagues in the world, I think that means a lot.
Yeah.
And for me, that's enough in a shaky position right now to say Araujo's my starting center back alongside Cesar Montes.
Fair. That's fair. I think I concede that because I like John Brooks' size. I like how
he's huge.
He's
He's huge, bro.
He's a big leader. I feel like he's very outspoken when he's at the back.
Yeah.
Sure, it might not be for the best decision making, but he's there. The U.S. have something in him that I haven't really seen before in their past center backs, which is really nice to see.
That's true.
Also, he looks like Tim Howard. It's kind of interesting. But when I look at Araujo or Moreno or any of the Mexican other options, I feel we're in a weird situation where Mexican fans have been very hard on these 3 players because they've been mistake-prone recently. Salcedo, we saw, made some mistakes in the Gold Cup, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
Araujo was getting called out for some mistakes he made around the World Cup qualifying as well. And Moreno is just getting old. So
I feel like Moreno's been in and out of the squad, I feel like, for so long.
Yeah.
And he's never been able to convince the coach that, hey, I'm the starting center back. Never been able to do
he
it.
can handle the responsibility at this age.
Exactly.
He came in the other day and he scored a goal with the header, but then he doesn't play the next game. He just doesn't have that.
He doesn't have that consistency. And so
For me, it's Brooks or Araujo, but we can go Araujo on this one. Let's
go out. That would mean a lot to me, man.
All right, so our back line looks like it's Stefan at goalkeeper, Gallardo left back, Araujo left center back, Montes right center back, and Dest at right back. That's a pretty good back line. Let's keep the ball rolling. We're going into the midfield, one of the more competitive zones for me. I want to start right in the middle.
Center of the park.
Center of the park. I think we actually have 2 of the best talents that USA and Mexico have to offer. And might I argue, one of Mexico's top 2 players, Edson Alvarez, facing off against Tyler Adams.
Right. So this is where it gets really interesting for me because when you talk about center midfields, you can have different types of formations. If you want to go defensive, maybe you have 2 defensive midfielders.
Maybe you do.
And maybe you have one guy floating around, joining in on the attack, maybe helping out defensively. So I'm just going to come out and say it. I actually have both of those guys in my starting midfield.
I think the quality is too good.
It's too good to let
And the
go.
other options are so dire that you have to start these 2.
Yeah.
One of them, not in their born positions, but still in a position where they can hold their own.
They can be effective. Very effective.
Please, they both show they can be very versatile. So
Absolutely.
I have Alvarez in the middle and Adams on the right. Where do you got him?
I have Alvarez right in the middle and Adams on the right.
Then we're good.
This is stupid, man.
But should we talk about any of the other options in those spots real quick?
I think who misses out mainly is just going to be the Mexico mainstays, Herrera being one of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's been one of Mexico's best midfielders of all. He will go down as one of Mexico's best midfielders of all time.
I think so. Yeah.
And he's been so loyal, so consistent for Mexico, man. He's been so good. He's been so good. Plays with Atletico, shout out. But he's just old, man. And it's the same thing with Guardado. Same thing with Guardado. And again, both Guardado and Herrera's pedigree at the European club level is so great. And they will go down as one of Mexico's best players ever. But right now, here in 2021, I just don't think they make the cut.
I don't, for me, Guardado is out of the picture completely at 35 years of age. It's done. And then on the other hand, he's about 31, 32 years old. So I feel like for him, it's more of like an out of form discussion. Like I haven't seen him play a vital role in a game like how he used to. He used to be such a impactful player for us, scoring goals, taking shots from out of the box, being a good passer, sending some good crosses. I just don't see that as much anymore. He kind of hides in games pretty often too. So that's why I didn't count him in. What thoughts here on where we classify this player? I hope I'm not getting too ahead, but I've seen him get classified as a winger. I've seen as a right midfielder. Thoughts on Gio Reyna?
Oh, okay. So Reyna, I consider him as a forward, a winger, not a midfielder. Okay. So I'm not going to discuss him right now.
We won't talk about him.
Yeah.
Who we got on the left?
Of left mid?
Who we got on the left?
So since we went with kind of two defensive midfielders, Alvarez being just an out-and-out defensive midfielder, Adams being a fucking box-to-box type of guy who can just be your engine. I have a guy who's a little bit more loose, but very offensive. And I have the young American Yunus Musa.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this one I had to think about for a while because for a longest time I was like, should I go with a Mexican guy? Specifically, Sebastián Córdoba. I'm a big Córdoba fan, man. Ever since he came out with America 2 years ago in 2019, I like how fluid he is. But he lacks a lot of things. Whether it's the final ball, through ball, penetrating pass, he doesn't have a lot of speed. I like his style of play, but I just don't think he's effective enough to break down defenses. So I can't. Not yet. Not yet. And I hope that sentence is true, man. I hope that sentence is true.
Take a longer time to breed, and I don't think that's the right word, to become their full accomplished selves. It's more of a long-term thing. But
and sometimes they don't. Like Pizarro, man.
Don't.
Like I thought Pizarro was going to be the attacking midfielder for Mexico, but he's just kind of gone in the shadows right now. If Pizarro was in complete form, honestly, I probably would have chosen him because I love his style of play. But if you see Yunus Musa play, and I think he goes really under the radar right now, even for American fans, if you see him play, I think it's a clear choice that he has to play alongside defensive midfielders in the middle of the park. And technically, and I'm serious, man, go watch a Yunus Musa highlight. Technically, on the ball, bro, he's better than any Mexican midfielder right now.
For me, the question wasn't with the Mexican, though. For me, it was between him and another American.
Lejette?
Weston McKennie.
See, for me,
the Juve product.
I'm about to shit on fucking McKennie, man. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not. I do understand what he does for the team. His composure. On the ball, he doesn't panic. You never see him really panic. He's good on the ball, but when it comes to driving an offense from the middle of the field, distributing the ball left, right, down the middle, I don't think McKennie can do it. Now, yes, he does put in some good crosses. He's good at set pieces. He likes to fight. You see him in the box. He's ready for that fight. He gets up, gets his head on the ball. McKennie's a fighter, and I do respect that, and I do appreciate that. But if I had my choice, I would leave McKennie out, and I would put in Yunus Musa as that driving force to be that impetus for our offense, man. I really would. If I have Adams on my box-to-box, Edson as my defensive guy.
I do like that three
I have Musa floating around, getting on the ball, and just dribbling, penetrating.
Okay.
And I like that coming from the midfield.
Yeah.
And I just don't think McKinney can't do that. And then if you go, well, am I going to pick McKinney over Alvarez or Adams? The answer is no. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll agree with that because when I look at the midfield, I have two fucking studs for sure. I'm willing to take a risk on with whoever else is out there.
Yeah.
So if Musa's that guy,
let me tell you, man, Musa's that guy. Musa's that guy.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so now we got a midfield of Musa on the left, Alvarez in the middle, Adams on the right. I feel pretty good about that, honestly. So
I feel great about that.
What we got next is a pretty loaded area, full of some fun players, some good talent, and some interesting talent.
Oh, yeah.
Talent we haven't seen in either of these squads for a long time. So let's talk.
Dude.
I want to start this time. Let's start on the left side. Let's go left winger.
Yeah.
We have, for me, two staples of their teams. It's funny that they end up competing here because they are so
I love it.
representative of what the teams are.
I absolutely love that they play in the same position, man.
Yeah.
Because it's just a fuck you to one of them and it's praise to the other, no matter what happens here.
Yeah. We have
an
injury-prone superstar.
Superstar, dude.
And
Stud.
a rascal... a rascal workhorse star.
Talent, man.
Talent, dribbling, excitement, lack of height. We got Chucky Lozano and Christian Pulisic. And Christian Pulisic, the Superman. Not Superman.
Captain America.
Captain America. That's who we got here.
That's what we got here.
For me, I had a very, very tough time with this one. I had to do a lot of meditating.
You had to talk to God.
A lot of just self-reflection because this one just came. This one came between me and my beliefs with life and soccer in general. So when I look at the talent, I look at Pulisic, I look at Lozano, and I think they're pretty damn similar. With the edge going to Pulisic for me. I guess Pulisic has had bigger moments and bigger games than Lozano. Lozano has had his highlights, but Pulisic, he's actively involved in huge games. Lozano, outside of the international scene, I haven't really seen him. When we play Champions League games, he hides a little bit. He's not as active. He gets subbed off a lot at the 60th minute. He doesn't play a full 90.
Yeah,
and so it's tough to argue for Lozano in that aspect. The only area that does trouble me about Pulisic is his injury proneness. If I'm going to pick him for this team, do I know he's going to be available for the goddamn game we're going to play? The man is so injury prone. He might be the Joel Embiid of the soccer world. I don't like it.
Made it
but
too fixed, man.
When he's healthy, he is definitely the better player for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even know if I have much to add to that because those are literally my exact thoughts. No, seriously. Yeah. Pulisic for me is the clear choice if you're choosing a left winger between Lozano and Pulisic. Skill-wise, he's better. Mm-hmm. He's just as fast, if not maybe a little faster than Chucky. He works just as hard, and I think his talent and his skill is better, man. I really do. Off the dribble, shooting, passing, penetrating.
He's a better passer.
He's better, man. Yeah. He's better at link-up play, too. Yeah. And you said it best when Pulisic has bigger moments, man. If you guys haven't seen Pulisic's Champions League run last year with Chelsea, it's incredible. It's incredible. He was so active, such a big part of that Chelsea team. And, I hear a lot of American fans kind of downplay Pulisic, but it's also just kind of classic to hear that in this region, this CONCACAF region, for people to just kind of shit on their own players. Just because, people are so caught up in, if you're not European, you're not good. Even if you're yourself or American or Mexican. I hear a lot of people downplay Pulisic in that, he doesn't start every game, stuff like that. And yeah, he doesn't, but he's in direct rotation when he's healthy.
Yeah.
In one of the hardest 11s to get into right now, Chelsea. And Pulisic is actively playing there. Yeah. And I think to put it really easily, if Lozano's on Chelsea, I don't think he plays. I don't think he plays.
Yeah. If Lozano's on that team, I think he's relying on an injury to happen so he can get his moment. He's one of those type of backups there. Yeah, I agree.
I think Tuchel would pick Pulisic over Lozano.
Yeah.
And then I think Lozano would be fifth string behind Pulisic, Havertz, Werner, and Ziyech. I really do.
Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know if I put him there. No, because
Lozano's not as good as those players,
Lozano has
bro.
a spark to him that people are willing to place a bet on. That's why he gets subbed on so much for.
But I think Pulisic provides that for Chelsea, and that's why he plays.
Pulisic doesn't play. He doesn't. He's too injured to play.
I know, but when he's healthy,
we're talking real though.
When he's healthy,
Lozano will be available. He will be available. He will have that chance. He's gonna get his availability will get him up to third string. That's what I'm arguing for.
Absolutely.
He's not starting with Pulisic. I'm just saying don't put that much hate onto him. The thing I think with Lozano is I do think people have come down on him a lot because of how highly they projected him to be when he left Pachuca. When he was going up, real high.
He was on
big
fire in the Netherlands when he went. I think he went to the best league, honestly, for his development.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just gone kind of weird in Napoli, just a little weird. But the thing is, he still does play.
Yeah.
He plays pretty much every game, but like you said, he doesn't play every 90 minutes. I think that, again, even minutes-wise, it's similar to Pulisic. The difference is I think Pulisic does more.
Yeah. So we're going with Pulisic on this one.
Yeah.
And last thing I want to add, Pulisic. I rewatched the game between Chelsea and Man City in the Champions League, and Pulisic was inches from being the first American to score in a Champions League final.
Yeah.
So that just kind of puts it in perspective.
Yeah. I remember that.
Would he have been the first CONCACAF player to score a Champions League final? Has to be, no?
Shit. He has to be, man.
She
right?
didn't do it.
No, I mean, she's played.
Obviously,
he played in one, but he
score.
didn't score 3-0 in that game.
Yeah, I mean, that's just he was inches away on a breakaway.
Yeah.
He scored. Let's go down to the middle now, where we have a fun discussion waiting for us between, for me,
Pepe.
two players.
Pepe
against Raul Jimenez. Those are the two, right? Those are the two we're arguing.
Those are the two right now. Just if we're going on based off of just generic form for the U.S., it's definitely Pepe right now. But overall, Jimenez, But I mean, I have Jimenez. Who do you?
Yeah, I have Jimenez. I was somewhat waiting for the Pepe argument, but his form is good. But his form isn't. If he continues, his form will be incredible. But he's also just got like 3 goals. It's like 3 goals in 2 games, I think. It's good.
Very small sample size.
That's what it is. It's a very small sample size. Jimenez is one of the most complete strikers, if not the most complete striker I've seen a Mexican forward have.
Dude, Mexico's been waiting for a forward like Jimenez, man. I'm a little pissed that he had that big injury last year, dude, because I definitely think it stopped him.
Yeah.
And he's had to not fully reset, obviously, but he has had to adapt.
Yeah.
He's had to come back to fitness. He's looking good, though. Yeah. He's looking good. I think he can get back to his level.
Jimenez has had weird timing with the national team because there's so much time he's played behind Cheech or whoever else has been in that front line as he was developing and becoming this bona fide
even
star.
El Cepillo, man. Orbelin played. He was actually Mexico's number 1 striker for a little bit over Jimenez because Jimenez was just in that weird limbo.
And when he finally came into rhythm, it wasn't until like 2-3 years ago that Chilean in the qualifiers really made him a big icon for the team. But he didn't even have that much of an impactful World Cup. He wasn't like actively like the guy for the team, which
That's
I
true.
do think he could become, and what he is now.
Yes, I see Jimenez playing a big role for this Mexico team when it comes to that striker position this World Cup cycle. I just hope it actually happens.
Yes, that's my
thing. I would love it if it happened.
That's my thing.
Man.
I feel that this is going to be his only World Cup to actually be that guy. And then that's it. Whereas like it felt like Chicharito's had 3 or 4 opportunities to be that, and another person has had more chances.
Yeah.
He's gonna end up having 1. By 2026, he's gonna be like 35.
Yeah.
So it might be done by then.
Yeah,
so I feel a little let down by that. And yes, that injury was big that happened to him, but luckily he's back and he's in form. He just scored a goal this past week in the Premier League. He's looking good. Going to the right. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Who do you got to finish up our lineup?
Really thought about this one because for me it's between 2 players. If we're talking about if they're both healthy and if they're both in form, right? Who is the better player? I had to really think about this one because I'm a big Corona fan, big Tecatito fan, but I'm going Gio Reyna, man.
Wow.
I'm going Giovanni Reyna, the 18 soon to be 19-year-old. for the Americans right now. I'm starting him in my right wing position. And basically, it just comes down to this. If I sent the ball out wide and Corona's on the ball, do I really think that he can get past like a really good fullback at the European level? And I know he plays for Porto, and I know he plays in the Champions League, and I know he's been really good lately, especially last year. Porto made an awesome run in the Champions League last year, and Tecatito was a big part of that. But I think he lacks something, whether it's speed off the dribble, initial speed, because he's not the fastest guy, at least not anymore, or maybe it's that killer instinct to really send in that final ball when you're on a breakaway and you have Jimenez wide open. You need that perfect ball. I don't know if Corona can do it. When all things come down to it, when everything matters, you need the perfect ball. I don't know if Corona can surpass that pressure and provide. So I'm going with youth, even though that the logic doesn't necessarily make sense, because Reina he's only been playing professionally for 2 years now. But that's the thing. Reina is so young, and he's already so
he's great.
Good.
He's really good.
His dribbling is honestly on par with Pulisic. Genuinely. His dribble penetration is fantastic. And even though he hasn't been able to show it that much, because hopefully, and I don't, knock on wood, he might be as injury prone as Pulisic. It was just a horrible fucking thing to have, man. Let's hope that's not true.
They always have the USA medical team, man.
Dude, I don't know.
Overtime.
But if he's healthy, man, I think he can do more in front of goal.
Okay.
If I send the ball out wide, would I rather have Corona or Reina on the ball to provide that killer pass, that killer dribble, or that killer finish? I can't trust Corona.
Okay.
I'm going Reina.
Yeah, I think the reason
I just can't trust
The reason
Corona.
I have trust issues with Corona is because we've seen he's like 27, 28 now.
Yeah.
Maybe 29. We've seen what he is. Like we know what he is.
We know exactly what he's going to do. And
We've
it's
seen
good.
the numbers. We've seen
It's good stuff.
We've seen him have his moments. We've seen him usually do it against CONCACAF teams. But always in that upper echelon of Europe, I've never seen him have a true, genuine. You point out his run. I don't remember an actual highlight of like Corona sliding past like a top tier fullback or like doing some shit like that. That's
exactly.
Oh shit, this guy is that level.
Most of his stuff is work rate, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. But like you said, I don't think he doesn't torch players.
Nah.
He doesn't get past players.
Not high quality players that I think we if we have an option of a person who has shown that or who at least has more potential in that aspect, I think I would go with that too, because despite him being in the Bundesliga, a league I'm not that big of a fan of, he was still part of a very competitive team that needed that type of service. Yeah. And the fact that he lived up to that role and did more than what was asked of him at that tender age of 18, I mean, that wins my approval, because Corona has just frustrated me for a long, long time. Still, he starts for the Mexican national team any day, I think. He has that position on lock.
No, absolutely.
And I'm okay with that.
No one starts over Corona if you're choosing just Mexican wingers.
I think he's got that on lock. But between these two teams, I think it's Reina, because the U.S. right now has better wingers than Mexico, if we're being honest.
If we're being completely honest, man, U.S.'s wingers are the best wingers we've ever had.
Yeah, I think that's what the excitement about this team is about, because they're so young. Maybe there's something there that they haven't experienced before. So
I hope so.
we're looking back on our team. Just to recap, we got Pulisic up on the left, Jimenez in the middle, Reina on the right, Musa on the left midfield position, Alvarez in the middle, Adams on the right, Gallardo on the left, Araujo on the left center back, Montes right center back, Serginho Dest, and Zach Steffen guiding us in goal. Christian, I gotta ask you two questions.
Let's go.
Who coaches this team, Tata or Berhalter?
I'm so glad we're getting the coaching staff. Let's go way deep. Let's pick the
coaches.
doctors. Let's pick assistant coaches.
Let's go goalkeeper training.
Yeah. Ball boys. Which ball boy would you rather have?
Coaches, quickly,
man.
to close this thing out.
God, dude. I feel like Berhalter gets so much shit. Dude, when I read a lot of the Reddit pages, when I read a lot of the YouTube comments, I feel like Berhalter gets a lot of shit because he does rotate a lot. I mean, a lot. obviously Martino has the resume. I mean, Martino's coached Paraguay, Argentina. Actually, maybe not Argentina. I don't remember. But he's coached he's coached Barcelona, and now he's coaching Mexico. Coached Atlanta United, one of the biggest teams in MLS. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Martino. I think it's the better bet. If I'm in charge of if I'm in charge of this team and I have a choice between Berhalter and Martino, and I'm like, shit, who do I have to pick? I'm gonna go Martino.
I'm going with the guy who's got his team at the top of World Cup qualifying. When people were trying to say there was another team in the mix, that there was another team to beat.
Oh, whoa.
I'm going with the guy who's given us results when it mattered most. For me, it's a pretty obvious decision. I think Tata's the go-to choice. I think Berhalter is too inconsistent in what he does with the team. He gave them a goddamn masterpiece of a Gold Cup, and people are loving that. Nations League final, sure, have it. But we're talking qualifiers now. A team, I'm going with the coach that's giving us the less drama. I'm going Tata, man. Berhalter brings a lot of drama with him, man. It's not good for my team. The boys in the locker room are already dramatic enough mixing nations here, man.
Absolutely.
Give me Tata and I feel confident.
One thing I will say, and I think a lot of people, especially like when you hear the CBS commentators like Deuce Dempsey, Jermaine Jones, Kate Abdo, all those people, they're really dramatic on the volatility of Berhalter. You know, what you just said. He does bring a lot of drama to the squad. Now, here's the thing, man. All that matters in World Cup qualifying is that you qualify for the World Cup. It doesn't matter if you finish top of the group. It doesn't matter if you finish second or third. It's all the same. If you finish first, second, or third, you go to the same place. World Cup group stage.
Absolutely.
And I think a perfect example of that is 2014. Mexico were literally a goal away from not even going. And they went and still had just as an amazing of a World Cup as the U.S., a U.S. team who finished top of the group that year. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what I'm saying, dude, that 2014 Mexican run was awesome. The amount of drama, that Brazil game, that Croatia game, that super controversial Netherlands game, and then the U.S. who finished top of the group that cycle had an equally good World Cup. So if you're a U.S. fan, yeah, you might be biting your nails at Berhalter's decisions, but as long as we qualify for this World Cup, I don't think it matters. And I want all U.S. fans out there to really take that to heart because, yes, we might not like Berhalter, but man, if we finish second or third in this World Cup qualifiers, our players are so good, I think they will rise that occasion and have an insane World Cup, no matter what. So I just want to put that out there as like a heartwarming thing. Let's not panic here if we're Berhalter fans.
Just to defend the people, I think they worry. It's kind of, I think Berhalter's having the Osorio type effect on his team. I think it's not so much about him qualifying as it is the fact that his decision-making can be so untrustworthy that you worry that if they are to qualify...
He rotates so much.
Is he going to do it on the World Cup? What's he going to do in the World Cup? You don't know. You don't know that.
The Gold Cup, he was pretty consistent once he found his mainstay guys. Yes, he still rotated, but when it came to it, you could realize Berhalter had a backbone. And I think he's going to do the same thing. Because I think what's going to really come true in this game, specifically against Mexico, we're going to see both backbones.
Okay.
Martino and Berhalter are not gonna fuck around in this game.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
This is the first one where
yeah.
Because even last time I felt that Tata specifically fucked around the Gold Cup. I really do. I think he didn't give it as 100%.
And he had license to.
I think he had a license to.
Yeah,
he had that ability. Same with Berhalter too. That might be why he was so weird with his decision because he felt a little bit of leeway and he had less to lose because he didn't have as good players during that cup. He had a lot of injuries to his team, so he just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, test some things out." He ended up winning. So it's going to be a great game that reveals a lot about both.
It's going to be so fun, man.
So
it's going to be awesome.
Great. Yeah. So we're going with Tata for that. Last question, how far does this team go in a World Cup in a World Cup tournament? How far does this team go?
Since there's Mexican teams involved, they don't get past that fourth game, man.
I think this team still...
I still think they do. They still make it around to 16, have a great dramatic campaign, but they don't go any further.
I think we put up a good game in the round of 16, but the fact that 3 out of 4 defenders are Mexican, and the defense really isn't up to that level of like top 8 in the world, I would worry.
Caves.
That's my thing.
Yeah, but honestly speaking, maybe they do maybe just get to the quarters. Just because if we have like Pulisic and Jimenez and Reina attacking, that could mean something.
Yeah.
That could mean trouble for an opposing team.
Yeah, and you got that defensive prowess in the midfield.
And you got Alvarez, man. You got Alvarez picking out
the
grinding
excitement of
plays.
Musa. Maybe we don't need to rely on our defense that much.
Maybe we don't. Maybe Dest overloads the side and bangs in a goal.
Well,
who knows, man? Who
It's
knows?
a fun team, but that's our combined 11. That's what we got heading into the big match in Mexico, USA, November 12th, Friday next week.
Prediction? Who do you got winning
I
that
got
game,
Mexico.
man?
I got Mexico. And I'm actually very more confident
In the
this
U.S.
time.
Where's that? Ohio, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Nashville? I
I'm
don't
more
know.
confident now than I was in these two previous matches. The Nations League final.
Whoa,
I'm
really?
more confident now. Mexico is playing great. The players are great.
It's tough to go to the U.S. now, bro.
I feel good. It is.
And that's not a
tough.
joke. That's not a joke. I know people are going to laugh at that.
That's
but
new.
yeah.
I'm going U.S. What do you got?
Wait, you're going U.S. or Mexico?
I'm going Mexico. Who you got? Look at this shit. I'm confused.
I'm going U.S. Even if Pulisic doesn't play, because there's a good chance he doesn't. I don't think Reina's probably going to play either. But even if they don't play,
Pulisic just played for Chelsea.
Yeah, he did.
so
He
that's
did.
pretty well.
I'm just scared that Chelsea will be like, hey, Pulisic, you know, stay like November, and he'd be like, nah.
I don't know. It's too big of a game for it to
It's
convince
such a
the
big
USA
game,
Federation
bro.
to do that. I don't think
I hope so. I love the passion Pulisic's been playing too under the U.S. man.
Yeah,
He's like really
yeah.
pumped and hyped for it. Anyway, I'm going U.S. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Definitely going U.S.
Alright.
And I genuinely mean that, not just passionately. I do think that they will win that game. But I mean, hey, may the better team win. I hope it's fun,
Wearing
man.
these jerseys. That's all we got for this episode. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, thanks.